I'll talk to the rice farmers afterwards, okay? I'm going to first talk to the private cane farmers. Now, as you're all aware, I've set a very aggressive agenda in terms of agricultural development, agro-investment, and the expansion of the agricultural sector. Of course, sugar will remain an important aspect of our economy and of our agricultural product base. We are fully aware that the process of mechanization and the process of system improvement and also improvement in the field must continue at even more rapid pace for this sector to realize greater potential and move towards a more sustainable and manageable operation. Having said that, we are also aware that to move to the large-scale production and production opportunities in the land within the holding of the private cane farmers here, which is between 8 to 12,000 hectares. Am I right? About that, Anamaya? Acres, sorry. 8 to 12,000 acres. Last week I had some discussions and I'm very impressed with some of the farmers and the work that they have been doing already. One farmer, for example, they have 400 acres of citrus, and we now are at a stage where we have to decide what we will do and how we're going to do it in an efficient and aggressive manner that is profitable and that allows technology to be incorporated into what we do. As I said over the campaign and in the last couple of years, the government would play its role in providing the enabling environment for the success of the food production system. And that role is to have the right incentives, to have the investment in drainage and irrigation, and investment in infrastructure. Those are key investments that we are willing to make. But those investments, as we all would appreciate, must be linked to production and productivity. We can't have investments being made and a means of production, which is land, is being idled. Then we are not maximizing the use of the factors of production in building the economy, expanding business opportunities, and creating jobs. So I'm in conversation with the state of Roraima and with DR. Today we have one of the specialists out of Roraima and a leader in the chambers, the business chambers, who have been working with us on accelerating the transfer with us. And I want her to stand because I want the farmers to know her and to work with her. We also have a team from the DR that will come in. There's a conversation between the ministers. Right, there's a conversation between the ministers and a team from DR in bringing in the technology for co-investment opportunities. And for a matter of fact, in the Cameroon, there is a massive project that is about to be launched with the revival of the cocoa industry in the Cameroon area. In the coming days, and when I say days, I mean days, less than a week, all the soil sample will be taken from the land and a full lab analysis will be done to identify what are the best crops for the land. We are doing everything in a scientific way. That information, so we'll be building up a website for this development. All of the information will be placed digitally on the website so that all the farmers can see it, investors can see it. And then we want a representative group of the cane farmers to work with the Ministry of Agriculture on defining the path that would lead us to full-scale production in a year. That's planting out. When I say full-scale production, planting out of whatever area of land you want to be planted. There are some options before us. I've had discussions with Demerara Distillers Limited, DDL, and we have to appreciate that whatever we do must be linked to markets. And we have to engage those who have access to the markets. DDL said to me that they're willing to invest in a full juice plant here in Skeldon once we agree that we're going to plant the citrus and other foods. So that is a decision we have to make. And they have said to me that they can have that juice plant fully operational between 8 to 12 months. Their juice plant, fully operational. So whatever we do, we have to bring the technology and the plants. Speaking to Roraima, they said that they have plants. We have plants that can go into production, that is orange citrus, within 18 months. 18 months. So we can get to production. And some of the farmers got to production in 2 years, right? That is what you told me, 2 years. From the 400 acres of citrus. The other opportunity is that we have 2 proposals for the re-establishment of a sugar factory. So we have those proposals that came in. We are having some more detailed discussions. One investor has said that they are formed in re-establishing the factory, but that will necessitate a discussion with the farmers to arrive at a long-term pricing mechanism. Because these investments require, and I'll be frank with you, a long-term pricing mechanism, because the investors have to justify their investment over a long term. So we'll have to have a discussion on how we come up with a pricing mechanism. But the type of infrastructure that will be required from the government will cost billions of dollars in terms of infrastructure. And you know this. You've started some of this. The third option that has been presented to us, and we have one large-scale investor already looking at it, is that of coconut, and to see the viability, because the coconut market is also expanding. We have 3,000 acres of new coconut plantation in Region 2 especially. So that's another opportunity. The folks from Roraima are going to do this soil sample to see whether coffee can be viable. So they will be doing that. From the latest research, I think they went in 24 months to production. 2 years, right? In 2 years in Roraima, they went with one variety of coffee from planting to production. So that's another opportunity. We have to see the opportunity in large-scale dragon fruit, but whatever we do, we have to come up with a multi-pronged approach that will have different crops, but all in large-scale production to make it commercially viable. So we want to have a representative group from the cane farmers, the ministry, DR and Roraima, and our local private sector, including DDL, Bank CIH, so we can have this conversation. We are working on within the next 14 days to have a full delegation, to have all the soil mapping completed, the soil analysis completed, and then move towards, within 14 days, and you see the Minister of Tourism, Industry and Commerce here too, within 14 days of having a joint investment meeting based on all the data that we collect between the government, the cane farmers, the private sector out of Roraima, our local private sector, and the private sector out of DR. Are we together? We together? So I wanted to come to communicate this with you because this is going to be 24 hours work, 24/7, for us to get where we want to be. But we all have to be committed to this. We can't have people who are looking to hold land. We have to be committed to this and in achieving the results that we want to achieve. So those are the things that I wanted to come and have this conversation with the cane farmers. So now I will stop here. You want to say anything, Sophie? Ashton, you want to say anything? Zulfi, you want to say anything? Suzanne? So we'll now open the floor to the cane farmers to hear your ideas and then move on to setting up a representative group from the cane farmers to work with us. I'll also invite our friend from Roraima to speak about what they have done and what the soil mapping would entail. All right? Because we did some soil mapping with Ministry of Agriculture, but we want to work in a more aggressive way. So we have some data already. So the floor is open, please.
With 3 cane farms, acreage 3,000 acres. The private farmer, no co-op. We would like to go full steam ahead back into cane.
What are you doing now? What are you doing now? Tell us what you're doing.
Good day, Skipper. Mr. President, my name is Anand Singh. I was a former cane farmer, and now I am a citrus farmer and a cattle farmer. I see it that we can go in both ways, cane and citrus. We could plant 2/3 the area in sugar cane and 1/3 in citrus. I get approximately 400 acres of citrus. We can go 600 acres more, 1,000 acres in citrus. We plant oranges, lemon, lime, and tangerines. Our main product is orange, Valencia oranges. Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, everybody. Your Excellency, my holdings is 4,000 acres from our Prasad cane farming, 4,000 acres. And I would like to develop my land again with cane, but this time I would prefer to do my own investment, meaning I would like to set up my own factory to plant my sugar cane. I just need a blessing from you, sir.
Okay, so let's get this straight now, because this is a discussion we want. You have the money to set up the factory,
Yes, sir.
and you're ready to invest in setting up the factory.
Yes, sir.
And you're ready to buy other cane farmers also, or other farmers' cane also.
Yes, sir.
At what price? You have worked that out?
Sugar cane goes it goes year.
No, I know, but they were getting, what were you getting? 65,000 per ton? 75? Huh?
Initially, sir, let me be very clear. I'm thinking of doing my own farm at this time.
So you're thinking about doing a small sugar factory?
Yeah, that's right.
And where would you sell the sugar?
We'll find markets in alone, yes, sir. Just like the rest of the people.
So where you want to do the factory? On your 4,000 acres?
Yes, sir.
What's your name?
Rabindranath Prasad.
And you have all the money ready.
Yes, sir. We're ready to go.
How long would you take?
We can start tomorrow.
Y'all know this man? I know it's Mary. And y'all think he's serious? Y'all think the man's serious? So you have all the money.
Yes, sir. We're ready to go. We got.
And how long would you take to establish a factory?
A factory. We already negotiated the factory, the price and everything. We just need to your blessing. And
No, how long would you take?
we can get the factory in Guyana in less than 6 months.
Y'all here, right? Because whatever agreement we make will have these clauses inside, right?
Yes, sir.
So you have a full proposal,
Yes, I do.
and you have the investor with you who will run the factory and so?
Yes.
Are they here in Guyana?
No, sir. First, we need your blessing, then we're gonna.
When
arrange
can they
everything.
come?
We can get it in a month.
No, that's too long. Get the proposal and come down tomorrow to meet with a team at the Ministry of Finance.
Okay. Sure. Thanks. It's a small factory started out, around about 200,000 US.
Well, a factory here for 200,000 US, right?
Actually, what we do, we plan to set the system, not one big factory in the field. So we plan to put more lines. So we not only do sugar cane, we do more product. We do sugar cane, we
Bring
do
the proposal.
molasses, we will get liquors and everything.
Okay. Well, you sure that will make sense for you?
Yes, sir.
All right, bring the proposal and let's see.
Okay, thank you. Okay, you promised us to do the infrastructure for us at the back there.
No, but you're making all the investment, you in your fields and your cane and everything.
Yes, we'll do that, but we need the infrastructure.
The main drainage, and so we'll look at that. But the fields,
Yes,
your internal drainage, all of that you take care of.
we take care. Good.
Good afternoon, Mr. President. My name is Jyoti Singh, and I speak on behalf of Corkane. At Corkane, we have approximately 1,000 hectares that was previously under sugarcane. Corkane, Molson Creek. It was previously under sugarcane. We produced sugarcane there before. We are ready to embark on cultivation like a turnkey operation. We have the expertise, we have the machinery, and we can start tomorrow if we are given the go-ahead. The other thing that I'd like to address, sugarcane. The other thing is that I have some concerns about a private mill. That would represent a balkanization of the sugar industry. I would prefer, if I were to go into sugarcane tomorrow, that the mill would be owned and operated by the government.
That direction. It's not an ideological debate here. It's a business debate. If a man thinks that he is viable, with his 4,000 acres and he wants to do his own thing and put down his own factory, I have no problem with that. If you think it's viable for you, that's what we need to know now. How many acres we will have? No, I know you have 1,000. In total, so that we can tell the investors who want to resuscitate the factory. So if we say, for example, let us say, Peter, if we say now, after this discussion, we have 10,000 acres remaining of people who want to plant sugarcane, then that is a small size factory you're talking about. Then that takes us to the drawing board to work with the people who know to do this and to see how we can bring a small size factory.
And to that, Mr. President, we would full support that once we know that our sugar would be processed and processed in a timely manner by whatever means.
And then, as Anamaya said, I can understand that if the price is high, you can have escalation in the price, but you can't, we have to set a low base price because you know how the market is. All right? The what? For one of those small plants, the small to medium sized plants, for 350,000 tons of cane. Huh? So tell me something. How many acres it will take to give the 350,000 tons of cane? Right, so Mary got what? 4,000 acres. Right. So, yeah, Mary.
First crop and second crop. You don't. Sorry, cane has two crops. The first crop and the second crop. You don't cut on 4,000 acre cane one time.
I with you, Mary. If you want to make the investment, don't worry. I'm telling you, you're pushing it open door.
I appreciate that, sir.
It's your investment.
That's right.
Yes, you want to say something now, Elaine? One of the things that they do.
Good morning, everybody. His Excellency Ministers, our farmers. I'm Elaine Hens. I am a farmer myself, current president for the Chambers of Commerce Brazil Guyana as well. I'm in Roraima at the moment working as a farmer in the last 12 years, specialized in citrus. So what we do is we have a very strong partnership with Embrapa Brazil, various different states, where we get all our genetic material, our rootstocks, everything that we do in our citrus, as well as coffee, cocoa, coconut. So my business, we do propagate trees as well as we do the farming. And as His Excellency mentioned, we need to think that Brazil from the 60s and the 70s was a massive importer of food. And 50 years down the line, by 2050, we're going to be the largest food producer in the world. So Brazil will feed a huge part of the world. And I've been coming into Guyana for the last 5-6 years already. And I think I really believe we can do a lot of things together. There's a lot of synergy in the environment. We're all in the Amazonian climate, so we have our different cycles, but there's a lot of things we can do. And I really believe that Guyana would have not chosen a better partner than Brazil to do what we can do in Guyana. Obviously, it will depend on the farmers. You don't do farming without farmers. I'm very happy to know that, because I've been joking a few times saying that Guyana has a lot of landowners but has no farmers. And I'm very, very happy to see today a room full of farmers, people that actually know how hard and how difficult it is to produce. It is a challenge, I know. I'm a big enthusiastic about farming, and I have my team. I come from a family of farmers, but I know how hard it is. The sun is hot, the rain is not nice. You're a farmer yourself, very good. And actually, when I met His Excellency the first time, I asked him a good, important question to me. I said, do you talk about farming because you believe in farming, or is it only a politician's jargon? Because I know a lot of politicians which farming is now this new fashion, and you need to be part of it, otherwise you're not going to be politically viable. And I am very, very happy, and one of the reasons I'm here today is because I know he actually believes in it, and he's making investments. And like we have a lot of people here that want to do it, because it's not going to be easy. But Guyana has, when I have a government that is committed to make the difference and take an industry and transform it, it is possible. So if we have the government with us and we have farmers, I have no doubt that we can make massive changes. It might not be as quick as the president always wants it, but it is possible. Because like we were saying, a citrus tree will take us 18 to 24 months to start getting production. Depends if you're doing tangerines or you're doing lime or oranges, but it is possible. And mainly, it's different from sugarcane or rice, because you plant, you manage it, you harvest, and you have to plant again. With citrus or with other permanent crops, you have a tree that can last you 20 plus years. So it is a different game ball. But I wanted to make sure you understand that we're here to collaborate, to show you what we do, to share knowledge, to learn with you guys as well. And I believe government, Guyana is definitely going to feed not only the Caribbeans, but we can go further. And it all starts with the decision of the government and the engagement of the farmers. So we have the land, we have water, we have the conditions that we need to transform Guyana into a massive farming, feeding Caribbean and world. Thank you.
1,200 acres, they want to do coconuts. We have to get the follow-up, the co-op department to come and get them resuscitated. This is Leeds Pioneer. That's the name of the co-op society. And there are some other co-op societies, Johannesburg, we have Babylon, Hunter Scheme, right? There's a lot, so they need to have their bodies resuscitated, and then you'll have more lands. They want to do coconuts, the others, I think they want to do mixed crops, some might go back into cane also, sir. So we have that we need to look after. Yeah, and then, so we're glad you're here, and we're glad that I think the farmers are relieved that they have multiple options. They could do citrus, they could do coconuts, they could do cane. I think that is the recipe for success there, sir, because I don't think, so everybody is, some have had not so nice experience with cane in the past, so some would not want to go back that direction. So I'm very glad, sir, that you give them the options to go to other crops, and which they will, I'm sure they'll utilize. So a lot of farmers, I think, want to go into coconuts also, and there was initially some talk about corn also, so I don't know if those folks are still interested in going in that direction, or that might be a bit too much for us to digest here, sir. So, sir, we need a lot of soil. The Ministry of Agriculture and his team from NARI and so forth had done a lot of groundwork before, sir. They visited all of the co-ops and the farms. They have the exact acreage. They did the mapping out, the initial stuff, the soil sampling that our friends from Roraima would need. So, but I think that could use some updating. But so the Ministry of Agriculture, to the Minister's credit, his team has done a lot of the groundwork already, sir. So we look forward to this initiative, sir, and to working with this committee that you plan to set up to move this process forward, sir.
So I would now we have now and what additional data we will need. But I will ask that on Monday you set up yourself in a different body and that the team from here, which includes the co-op, meet with a team from the DR, Roraima, the local private sector, the Minister of Public Service, Implementation and Government Efficiency, the Ministry of Finance, the Ministry of Agriculture, the Go Invest, NDIA, the Ministry of Labor, which deals with co-ops, and of course tourism, industry and commerce, labor and manpower. That this meeting will be held with Guy Suku on Monday so we can finalize what we want to do and where the investment will go and the plans. Mary, they will talk to you before tomorrow to look through what you want to do. We have the other investors, as I said, DDL, who want to put down the juice plan, and we have two other interests that is looking at the Skeldon factory itself. So, anyone else would like to speak? Yes, we have one.
Good afternoon, Mr. President. I represent Babylon Co-op Land Society. If I may, Mr. President, if you will recall, we had a meeting about 18 months ago at State House. We had a conversation about Babylon. Babylon is about 60 years old. In that 60 years, it has never effectively been cultivated. Reason being lack of drainage, irrigation, and access. Mr. President, at our meeting at State House, we had gotten from NDIA an estimate for drainage and irrigation, if you recall. I believe it was about $180 million. And at the time, you had instructed NDIA to do an estimate for the access. Now, so we have 4,000 acres of land. And at this point in time, like I said, can't cultivate without proper drainage, irrigation, and access. But I would think what's interesting about today is the representative from Roraima, because I'm sure we'd be willing to cooperate with them, to liaise with them, and to bring cultivation. We're open to all crops, Mr. President. Initially, we were thinking of rice and other crops, mixed crops. Would be more interested in permanent crops, like you mentioned, which would be easier. So, Mr. President, the land is there. It's been abandoned for decades, but we need infrastructural work done. And like I said, we'd be willing to collaborate with anyone.
Yeah, but we want to see you guys ready to make investment too, so you have to demonstrate to us that you're ready to make the investment, the members of the co-op.
Mr. President, my members...
We don't want absentee landlords, you know. You can't have 1 foot here and 1 foot somewhere else. This can only be successful if you're fully planted in Guyana. You gotta have both feet positioned in Guyana. Right, Mary? Good.
Mr. President, on that subject, I have members who are ready to invest. We just need the infrastructural work done.
I'm just being very open and honest at this meeting. I'm being very straightforward, John. You agree that is the way we have to go? Good. Anyone else? Then
Good afternoon, President. My name is Vishnu Hemraj from Raja Cane Farming, and I'm willing to cultivate 800 acres under sugarcane.
Under what?
Sugarcane.
Surety?
No, sugarcane.
Oh, sugarcane, okay. yeah, well, we can discuss that. That's what we discuss. We want to know all, this is what we have to go through. So among yourself, I expect you have everybody here today.
Yes.
Who can coordinate the group? Who y'all want to coordinate the group? You have a coordinator, Anamaya is coordinating this group? Yeah, everybody okay with that?
Yes.
Everybody okay?
Yes.
So Anamaya, get them together. Y'all go through how much land, what people want to do. Let's get the soil testing done so we have all of that before Monday. Okay? All right, great. So how much How much have you registered on the insurance program we have now? So when the rest of you will register? Because you're holding up the others, you know. We got to get you all registered on the insurance program, right? So let's analyze. Yesterday, we had a meeting with the millers. I'm going to ask Zulfi and Ashley to update you on what was told to us at that meeting. And then I want to listen to you, because over the next 2 weeks, we'll have a series of meetings to see what solution we can find to this problem. You have to be involved. We have to be involved. The millers have to be involved. And of course, the markets have to be involved. We have to talk to the markets. We agree on that? This is not us, anybody fighting each other. One thing you all know for sure is that you got a government who supports you, and a government that represents you and work with you. So there'll be a lot of opportunists coming around now, political opportunists. And I'm very frank with you, who would come around as if they love you and care about you, and they want to represent you. Let me be clear. There is only one honest representative of rice farmers in the history of this country, and that is the People's Progressive Party. The rest will try to use you politically. Do not allow yourself to be used. I'm here to tell you that we are going to work with you because we love you and we genuinely want you to succeed. Yesterday you heard about all of the initiatives we launched to support rice in the last 3 years. And you know this, don't you know? Don't you know? So you know that we're going to work with you. The situation is very complex at the moment because you have dumping, you have falling prices, you have oversupply, you have a bumper crop all over the world, you have markets that have outstanding money for millers. So it's a very complex environment we're operating. And as government, we are trying to navigate through that program. You know, we have already said that in all of the rice producing regions, we have to now build storage capacity, the government, where we will stockpile also. So we can stockpile, we have to have the capacity nationally to stockpile maybe 5 million tons of rice. Because we want rice to succeed, we want you to continue to plant, we're going to continue to invest in better variety to give you higher yield. So we have to have the appropriate infrastructure to support these investments. Are we together? All right. The second thing, the third thing, is we have to have a conversation with you. I'm going to bring in experts from around the world to see how in every 10 acres we can convert 1 acre into an alternative crop. Whether we do cage farming for crab, which has high value, big market, we can put a processing plant to do the crab meat. So for every 10 acres of rice farm, we have to have 1 acre of high yielding production. You agree with this? And we're going to invest to help you to do this. That is what is called agro-business diversification. And it's important for you, for us, for your cash flow, and everything. So let me ask Zulfi and Ashley to update you, and then we'll go to the floor. So I don't want Zulfi to make this simplistic. We gave $300 per bag, plus we removed the commission to zero. $300, plus we removed the commission to zero. Right? It was $6 US per ton. Then now we have, I'll give you the figures just now as to what the average cost of production across the industry is that was given to me, right?
Yes, so the president said, yes, the contribution that the government would have made directly, inject directly into the farmer's pocket, over $2 billion, leaving out fertilizer, Another $2 billion was expended on fertilizer. So the contribution directly to farmers for the last crop, that you receive fertilizer for the second crop of 2025, was directly over $4 billion, including the commission, that over $600 million that GRDB would have forego. The government have to find that now and give subvention back to GRDB. So last crop, we have had that discussion. Now yesterday, we had all the millers that attended this meeting. We went through the figures with them, we went through the numbers, and they showed us that one, they have small markets, and the price, the world market price based on the grain increases in the world. Not only India, but places like Latin American countries like Argentina, Uruguay, Brazil. They are also, their cost of production is coming down because our farmers, one of the major costs in producing rice is the renting that they are now racing one another to rent land. Some of you are going to the landlord, and when one body renting the land for $20,000, some increase it to 25, 30, up to 35, $40,000. For one plot of land you are paying. And you all can't talk that is untrue. And as the president rightly said, I'm glad that he's addressing this issue because there are a lot of landlords who live in overseas and renting their land out to the farmers. And the farmers who doing have one plot and two plots of rice cultivation, trying to race one another, increasing the price. That is the main cause of the cost of production. Now the government, we have been making the contribution in terms of fertilizer, in terms of reducing the cost for fuel, zero tax we collecting on fuel. So what the cost of you buying the fuel for is the cost of we importing it for. The VAT on agriculture, machinery and chemicals and things like that. So we are contributing to reducing the cost. But at the same time, at your level, you have to ensure that you change the culture that you have. Now the rice millers are saying that the crop, for this crop or this year, the price have decreased tremendously because of the market overseas. And that is why they are now holding out. From the meeting yesterday to now, two of the millers, the major players in Berbice, have increased their price to $3,000 a bag for the paddy. They inform us that. And we will continue to meet with them, as the president rightly said at his press conference, that the meeting was adjourned. We'll continue up to this morning on our way coming up there. Minister Ashley Singh and myself, we were talking to the rice miller again to go back to that price that we had, or increase the price. So this is a work in progress. We are continuing to meet with them. The government is very concerned, as I said. The government wants you all to have maximum price for the paddy, right? Maximum price. That is why we are doing all these things. We are continuing the negotiation. The president was briefed and he instructed us, both of us, to ensure that we have meeting regularly with the miller to see what we can do. And that will continue. So as it stands now, in Region 6, two of the main mill are the Hack group of company. They are paying $3,000. I understand Nanpasad is still paying less than that. But then also the farmers, some of the farmers got contract with these mills. And I raised it yesterday with the millers and say that farmers should have the freedom to sell their paddy at any mill that is paying the highest price. We should not tie down, you should not tie down yourself with a particular mill that when you reap your crop, you have to carry your paddy there. They agree with us to a certain extent, right, Ashley, when we spoke to them about it. So we have to continue to do that. But you should have a right to sell your paddy at the mill that paying the highest price. So that we will continue the discussion. As I said, we have some movements yesterday up to $3,000, and we will continue to see what more we can have. So that is the update that we have had up to now. We briefed the president yesterday afternoon after his press conference, and we'll continue. As I said, that tomorrow morning I'm hoping that we'll have a continued meeting to see where we'll move from there.
So what we're going to do, as soon as we conclude the meetings with the markets, the millers, we'll have meetings all across next week, the country with the farmers. I've instructed that the minister go all across the country to meet with the farmers. So within 2 weeks, as I said to you, 14 days, they will come back to me with a full report. We'll discuss it at cabinet, and then we'll see what type of initiative we can pursue. Is that fair? Right? Let me ask Ashley to update.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. President, and Minister Zulfi and other ministers at the head table, comrades and friends. I want simply to re-emphasize the point that His Excellency made and that Minister Mustafa made about the fact that you have in this government the only government that historically and the only political party that historically has stood on the side of the rice industry. And both His Excellency and Minister Mustafa have highlighted a number of initiatives. I want to maybe add just a few other examples to you. You would know, for example, those of you who are rice farmers, and even in rice milling, you would know that fuel, apart from land rents, fuel is also a significant cost contributor, particularly diesel for your tractors, diesel for your combines, etc. As you know, one of the first things that President Ali did after he came into government was to take off the taxes of refined fuel products, gasoline and diesel. And that measure alone, the removal by the President of the excise tax on gasoline and diesel, that measure alone provided an additional $80 to $90 billion in the hands of the Guyanese people. Some are farmers, many are farmers, some are miners as well, some are of course just commuters, transportation operators and transportation users, but in particular, every single person who operates a tractor and every single person who operates a combine harvester and every single person who operates a rice mill would have benefited from the reduction in diesel prices as a result of the reduction in taxes. And as a matter of fact, the impact of that alone, the impact of the removal of taxes from diesel and gasoline is nearly $560 per gallon, that if that had not been taken off, you would have been paying another $560 per gallon. Then, of course, all of the investments that we have made in drainage and irrigation. You know that we've been investing heavily in drainage and irrigation because we recognize the importance of water management in agriculture, but in rice in particular. And particularly recently, we have said that we will build 3 new Hope-like canal structures. And you know that we have already awarded the contracts for the Hope-like canal structures in Region 6, which will have 2 major outfalls into out of the land, a major embankment along the Kanji River, and an internal network of drainage. And that work, in fact, has already started. Of course, it falls under Minister Zulfikar Mustafa's ministry. Those contracts have been awarded. Those canals are already being dug. The embankment is already being built. The network of drains will be built. So that is also going to reduce the risk of flooding for all of you who are, whether you are rice farmers or indeed you're cash crop farmers in Blackbush Polder or elsewhere. That's also going to help with the improved water management, reducing the risk of flooding and ensuring that you have water for the purposes of your cultivation. We've also bought more machines. You know, you have seen more excavators, more mobile pumps being deployed than at any other time in the history of our country, all to make sure that you have better water availability and reduce risk of flooding. And we conveyed, on the President's instruction, Minister Zulfi and myself conveyed a very, well, these days I have to clarify which Minister Zulfi I'm speaking about. Minister Zulfikar Mustafa. But of course, Minister Zulfi also now plays an important role in all of this work. But Minister Mustafa and I also conveyed to the rice millers a very clear message on behalf of the President and at the President's instruction. We said very clearly to them that all of us have a shared interest in protecting the rice industry. there isn't government on one side, millers on another side, and farmers on another side. Because if the farmers can't go back to plant for the next crop, there will be no paddy to mill by the millers. And there will be no rice to sell to the markets. So we, recognizing the reduction in world market prices and maybe whether you want to call the ramping up of international supplies, India and other countries increasing their supply in the world market, which has put pressure on the world market price. All of us have an interest to ensure that the farmers are able to go back to the land. I'm not going to repeat all of the other things about the fertilizer assistance and so on. There are also some cash flow challenges that are being faced by some millers because some of them have sold to markets where they have not been paid in a timely manner. And the president has instructed us to engage with those markets at the highest level. And up to this morning, well, yesterday afternoon, Minister Zulfi and I, Minister Mustafa and I had some conference calls. This morning, we followed up on some conference calls at a ministerial level to try to get those markets to flush out the cash flow debts that are owed to the millers, which will ease the cash flow problems that are being faced right now with the millers and improve their ability to pay the farmers. So we are even pursuing this at a diplomatic level because we recognize, like I said, this is not only a rice farmer's problem or a rice miller's problem. This is something that we and you, the millers, the farmers and the millers, we're on the same side here and we have a shared interest. We want you to grow, we want you to expand. You know, we have said that we want increased cultivation. We're opening up more land for increased cultivation. We want you to expand your cultivation. We want to make sure that you're able to produce competitively so that the millers can mill your paddy competitively and export it. And in fact, we're working on finding more markets. Up to this morning, Minister Zulfi and I spoke, both Zulfis in this case spoke, and the new Minister Zulfi, Minister Zulfikar Ali, who is a former ambassador as well and has strong connections internationally, up to this morning he made telephone calls to explore the possibility of new markets for rice, following a conversation that the three of us had. So I want to assure you that this is being pursued at multiple channels. We are with you on this. We want the industry to grow and we want the industry to prosper. So let's continue to work together. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Okay, great. So the farmers. You have our full commitment. Are we together? So let's listen to the farmers. Or we clarify everything. Yes.
Good afternoon, Mr. President, ministers. I'm a rice farmer and I'm also a service provider in the sugar industry. One of the things I've done is I decided to go around gather knowledge in how I can improve myself as a farmer. As a matter of fact, I went to Brazil, Roraima, and look at what they're doing there about a week ago. I did went to DR also, but on a different mission. One of my challenges is I rent every square inch of land that I've been farming, and unfortunately I've only managed to do 3 acres of rice on this current crop that is for seed for next crop. I've struggled with the height in renting these lands. I have a lot of machinery. I would have invested in that. I did talk to Minister Zulfi, who would encourage me to go in and look at these lands where land is available. I did that. I went to Land Survey. When we look at the map for accessible land, there is no land that was available. They were all land that were owned, and I went and looked at them physically, and they were land that were not cultivated. Like the minister said, a lot of landowners, not a lot of farmers. Now, I'm at the peak right now. Physically, I can do a lot. I don't think in 20 years from now.
So you have a
yes.
land issue.
So I would love to have the opportunity.
So we'll take that information down, and deal with that, those private issues, right?
I will love to work, like all the plans that I've been hearing, I would love to work with the government in developing myself as a better farmer then as well.
Great. Okay, that's what we want. We want partnership.
Yeah.
Right? We are all about partnership, my brother.
Mr. President, honorable ministers, I just got two short points to make. Number one is we have to look for the farmers to get a fair grade when they send the rice to the rice millers. Because you can send an A grade rice to the rice miller and some underhand stuff going on, and you get a C grade or an unclassified. So you know where the cost of production and whatever. I can't go into the details as to what is going to take place during that time. The second point I want to tell you is, I heard
Is there an independent analysis or a review board?
the rice board has a representative down there.
No, I know there's a representative, but Zulfi, is there an independent board?
If you complain, you can review the rate.
And we have the capacity to also do the testing. And did you complain about it?
They do. There are a number of complaints about it. Then they factor in the moisture content of the rice and the Gandhi sock rice and whatever you have down the line. So they just to drop the price per bags. Number two is, I noticed for a couple of years now you're talking about this Hope Canal business. 3 Hope Canals is going to build across the area. That's a very good initiative to do. But we also have 3 canals that are silted up, which can compete with on your way back to Georgetown.
Which 3 canals are those?
On your way back to Georgetown, you can slow down at 43 Village, where the outlet is to the ocean that drains Yakusari, Blackbush Folder. You can slow down at Eversham and look to your right. You will see you can slow down at Adventure and look to your right.
But I think we do some work on those.
Comrade Mustafa knows what I'm talking about. He's a man from the area.
No, I know, but we did some work on those, didn't we?
No, that's why I'm asking you, please, sir, when you go, just slow down and look to the right, and you will see.
Comrade Holland, those canals, inform the president, those channels, outfall channels, are clear on a regular basis when you have heavy rainfall.
Yes, sir.
You need enough water to clear it.
To flush it.
Flush it out.
To flush it out.
Those canals have been clear on a regular basis. Very like that. Almost every quarter, you just clear those canals because you have contractor here who work on those canals. Right? Those things will be contracted out with dark lines and things like that. So I agree it might be still tough, but it's still tough on a regular basis. You have to clear it when you have enough water in the system. As the weather is now, you don't have water to drain it, so it will clog up.
Quite appreciate your point there, sir. But number one, you must also look that you don't clear the 100 yards from the road where you can see, and then after that, it's all blocked up. His Excellency, one time I sent a picture to you about how they clear the whole front and the whole back behind the main irrigation canal in Gaisuku. And you did a wonderful job by sending in the next day a dosanday to clear the whole thing. Now the whole thing is cleared. We will appreciate, we as farmers appreciate if something like that can be done with Blackbush Folder to flush it out.
So, all right. So here's what we're going to do. From a government efficiency standpoint,
Yes, sir.
we're going to establish a farmers committee that will sign off on all the work that we do in those 3 canals. So 3 times a year when we have to flush it out, they'll flush it out and you'll have to sign off on the work that is being done. Right, Anmaya? That is okay?
Yes, sir.
So we're going to put that system in place. And what I want also, Zulfi, is a full monitoring system that we have spoken about for transport and harbors on all the main drainage canal across the country to be digitally uploaded and in real time. We can see all the canals across the country. And every contractor who is working now on these DNI projects, they have to install a camera on their machine that is linked to the Office of Efficiency so we can monitor what they're doing in the canals in real time and live. To your office, Zulfi, Agriculture, DNI, and to the Efficiency Office. So any contract that is given out now, they have to put that on so we can monitor what's happening. So when a farmer calls, we can go live and see what they're doing. So we'll move towards doing that.
Yes, sir. My last point is a short one. The canals in Blackbush Poola, they are all the cross canals, the irrigation and the drainage. They are all silted up. Those canals create a receptacle. When the first shower rain comes, it fills the receptacle. Then you have time to drain it. Now, that receptacle is all silted up. All the canals in the whole of Blackbush Poola, except the one at Leslie Holden where the drainage is happening now. What I'm suggesting is that all those cross canals and the irrigation canals, the drainage and the irrigation canals, be dredged so that it forms a receptacle. When the rain falls, you have the first shower of rain where the water will accumulate.
Okay, so we have to be realistic, right?
Yes, sir.
On the costs also. We can't dredge all of those canals. So I'm going to ask Lionel to come now and to give an overview of where we are with the Hope Light Canal and to talk a bit about our plans in drainage, including those cross canals, because I have told him also that we can't keep doing the things the traditional way. We have to have more of the amphibious excavators excavating, right, Lionel? The amphibious excavators excavating to remove the silt so they dig the center of the canal and we are not destroying the shoulders of roads and so on. So we have to look at more small excavators like that. But go ahead, come in front. Go ahead.
Good day, Your Excellency, Ministers of Government, farmers. What's happening in Region 6 is one of the largest DNI projects whereby we have built a 47-kilometer long embankment. That's from Vreeden Bench Cup coming all the way to number 66. What that will do is that when the Kanji River gets high, and this has happened in the past, it will keep that floodwaters out. And then we have the Hope Light canals connecting at Lancaster from the embankment going to the Atlantic, and number 51, 52 going to the Atlantic. So the embankment is 100% completed. We have 24 internal canals, which is about 85% completed. The Lancaster Canal going out is about 35%, and the 51, 52 is about 35% too. All work is ongoing. The two sluices contracts have been awarded, and the contractors are sourcing materials, the sheet piles for those. The project timeline for all of this is 8 months to complete based on the contracts to finish all of it. Additionally, Blackbush Poola, Yakasari Joanna has had flooding issue for some time. So now we are now adding a new outlet at number 45. The contract was awarded, I think a week ago, where we're going to put in a new sluice, pump station, and a new canal to take Yakasari water. And this issue where the white coca does drain into number 43, that will no longer take place. It will independently drain to the Atlantic Ocean. So these are some of the main projects. And also in this region, for the first time, we have 2 amphibious machines, which we can put in those outfalls that you spoke about, and dredge it from the public road, go as far as we want into the Atlantic. At least get past the sandbank, which will come time and again. And this, we have used it the last rainy season, and it did help a lot in removing built-up of waters. Also with irrigation, if I may say quickly, the irrigation issues at Blackbush Poola for the 20,000 acres or so in the frontlands, we're very shortly we're going to put in the substation. The civil works is almost completed, and the 4 new pumps, in addition to the 3 fixed pumps, will be installed. So we'll have adequate irrigation water to the frontlands and the backlands at the same time, not how it's operating now, you have to wait for the back to irrigate, then in front. Everyone will get water at the same time when this additional pump station is completed. The four, I was told to say the 4 new pumps will go directly to the frontlands. So while Blackbush Pole is getting water independently, and water would be going to the frontlands at the same time. So the lapse in timeline will no longer be there. Everyone will be able to cultivate at the same time. There will be adequate supply.
The other thing that we're doing, just as we're on this topic, in terms of efficiency, within the next month, Lionel will have to ensure that every single pump and every single sluice is live online and connected to his office. So he can touch one pump station, see what is happening, and talk to the pump operator. He can go at 1 in the morning, pull up a sluice, and to see if the sluice attendant is there. So that electronic system, they have 1 month to bring it in place with all the sluices. I know he has started.
Yes,
all the sluices and all the pump station across. So Minister Zulfi don't have to drive or call anybody now. From his computer, he will pull up any one of the pump station, any one of the sluice, and within 1 month this will have to go live. And then we will allow the regions also to have access to their regional information so they can see what is happening also. We are holding people accountable. That is what we're doing.
Yes.
Can you give us an update on the Manabisi pump?
Go ahead.
The Manabisi pump, one of them has to be replaced, and it's in country already to be transported and installed. But we have the number 66 pump at the side, which we can pipe water into the system, so there's no deficiency in supplies.
In 2 weeks?
In next week it will be in a brand new pump. Yeah.
All right.
And lastly, Chief, I just want to explain, for many of these sluices across the country, we have the CARES project, and which a number of these gates, which time and again the timber door does give issue, we are replacing a number of them with stainless steel doors as a way of upgrading and good structural properties with that. Thank you.
Thank you. Are we all together? You're satisfied with the meeting? So far? Yeah, brother. You look like you're gonna give me problem.
Good afternoon, sir. We're talking about the rice rent. So if we talk the correct thing, but when you go to the farm and until you go drop the rice rent, somebody else won't take away the land. Well, we need to, the government step and set one price to the people who rented the land.
You see, that's the problem. That's state control can't work in the modern world. But what we can do is have a conversation with the landlord. I agree with you. The time has come for us to have a land mapping across the country for rice. Lionel, this is something we have to do too, Zulfi. Create a land map for every region. Who owns what, where it is, and then we can have a meeting with all of these owners and to see how we can arrive at. But Zulfi is right, you see, and you agree he's right.
Yeah.
The problem is among ourselves sometimes. You want to cut the other one throat, not figuratively. I mean, right? You know what I mean. So you will go, a man giving this man 10,000 an acre. You go behind the man by the Bible. The man I give 14,000. Then the next man come behind you 15,000. Right? So it's a pricing war. You know, in even developed countries, in Canada, you had a bidding war once for properties, where it's a big story. There's a big article you can read on it, where the migrants, especially from India and China, were outbidding everybody at the auctions and taking up the cost of real estate. But it was a false cost in the sense that it does not match market realities, just like here. They're just taking up the cost because we have created an enabling environment of out-competing each other. And we have to fix that too, right?
That should be nice to fix early.
All right.
The rice price done gone. There's something else got to be done.
No. That's what we're discussing, brother. Right, where's your name?
McDonough, Francis.
Good, Francis. That's what we're discussing. This government withdrew, you know that? Good. So we'll have these meetings. So in 2 weeks' time, we'll have a full picture, and then Cabinet will have a discussion. All right? God bless everybody. And thank you, let me say this. Thank you once again for your support, and you're assured of a government that will continue to work in your interests. Those that we need to continue the process of enlightening, let's all work towards enlightening them. Okay? God bless you.